Julian De Pontes writes, X-Men is basically my religion. Like most people, Star Wars is their religion. I recently read a rumor online. By the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, Magneto will in fact turn into Apocalypse. Wow, sorry guys. Apocalypse won't be a standalone villain in the movies, but will rather an alternated Magneto for the upcoming 2016 movie, which would make me so upset.
Well, first of all, this is an inside joke with us. It's Magneto. This is an inside joke with us. So
the dyslexia kicked in, guys. Sorry.
Here's the thing. I have also heard that rumor. I do not believe that it's true, that they're actually going to have Magneto turn into Apocalypse. But if they do, and you all know how much I love Age of Apocalypse, I'm okay with it. And the reason I'm okay with it goes back to that one thing I always harp on. Keep the core essential elements to who these guys are. The fact that Apocalypse was En Sabah all the way back in the days of the Egyptians and things like that, you know what, really, when it comes down to the core of Apocalypse, that's actually not important. The En Sabah part of Apocalypse ain't that important. What is important is he is a Darwinian monster. Survival of the fittest and the culling of the weak. That is the key thing about who Apocalypse is. And if they did go, once again, I do not believe they're going to morph Magneto into Apocalypse, but if they did, as long as they nail that essence part about what Apocalypse is supposed to be and what he's supposed to be about, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. That doesn't mean I'd be thrilled with it. I would still rather them do the actual backstory of Apocalypse. But if they don't, but still keep true to the who and what he is, I can live with it. I'd be okay with it. Anyway, Schnepp, what do you think?
I don't want to live with that. I certainly hope that that is not the case. Right. I do agree with you because, I mean, Magneto's origin is he was an Apocalypse-style character. He was like, down with the human race, we're the superior. Right. So he had that going from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and then they introduced Apocalypse.
And in the movie universe, he starts as a victim of that mentality, right? So the irony of them turning into that.
It makes sense. They could do that kind of spin. Like they've done these spins since probably the 80s where they started introducing like Batman and then the Joker and you created me, I created you first. Right. So they've done this kind of like hero-villain thing, you know, they're the mirror image of each other. It just makes it an easier narrative. Like with the new Spider-Man, they're wrapping all the villains into Oscorp because it just makes it an easier thing as a sell-through idea. It's like you still get all those characters and you just might not get their individual original origins, but you get the characters. So I certainly hope that that's not the case, but am I going to be like, it all depends on how they do it.
Right. So. Mary, and I know when you and I first met, you were Apocalypse this, Apocalypse that. That's all you ever talk about. But now, how are you with the idea of moving forward with an alternated character from the original concept?
You know, I agree with you. I think I prefer, obviously, for them to stay true to the source material, whatever it is, in any situation in film. However, this is a film. It's different than a comic book. There are a lot of other things that have to come into play. Like you said, tying all the villains into Oscorp is one example. But I also feel like it really boils down to how they do it. If they do a good job of it, great. They do know that the pressure's on. If they do make a decision like this, they know that fans, like this lovely person that wrote to us, they know that they're going to upset people, that they're shaking the tree a little bit, so they have to do a really good job. If they do a really good job and it ends up making a lot of sense from a narrative standpoint, great, I'm on board. But if they screw it up, then I'm even more not on board than I would have been if they had just stayed true to the original and screwed it up, if that makes any sense.
And I think it's important to remember that. I think they understand that, you know what, if we do it right, a lot will be forgiven. I always go back to the sports analogies, right? Like, a sports team can do a lot of unpopular things, that are things that are very unpopular with their fans, but if they win, all is forgiven. You know, let's look at the Joker for a second. A lot of us forget, because Heath Ledger was such a brilliant Joker, that Joker looks nothing like most of the Jokers we know. And there have been several incarnations of Joker through cartoons, the comic pages, and previous movies, obviously. And Heath Ledger's Joker is very unique. He's very different from any Joker we've had before. And that could have backfired. But because it was awesome, people embraced it, and now that's the standard for the Joker, right? So I think you're completely nailed it when you say, look, yeah, they'll do this with Apocalypse, whatever, and maybe that in the beginning will be really unpopular with fans. But if they nail it and they do it great, all will be forgiven, and it'll be the new standard of excellence probably for the character.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.